playoffs for our first semifinal game. It's the number 1 seed Westland Knights taking on the 4 seed Portland Gherkins. The Knights come off a loss 5-4 to the Portland Pickles in a game that had no playoff implications last night. The team from Westland has put up 124 runs in their last 14 games while stealing 35 bases. It's been an offensive show all season long for the top dogs in the WWWL. The Knights will look to put their offense on display this afternoon and advance to championship Sunday. On the other side, the Portland Gherkins fell to the Gresham Grey Wolves in a home run derby yesterday, and after a 2-game lead at third place going into the week, the Gherkins are now the 4th seed, facing the Knights. The Gherkins have been the underdogs since day one, so being the 4th seed is nothing new for the farm team from Portland. A team that didn't have high expectations this season has surprised the league at times and will look to shock the league this afternoon against the Knights. The series between these two teams has been one-sided, with the Knights winning both games by a combined score of 32-0. However, with only 2 games between these two teams, they are not very familiar with one another, which could aid the 4th-place Gherkins. It's the first of 2 semifinal games on this Saturday in the Wild Wild West League as the 4th seed Portland Gherkins take on the number 1 seed Westland Knights. Well, as we welcome you into another beautiful day here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. The pitcher for the Knights, well, it's a good one, Jake Fennings. He has been absolutely terrific. He has thrown 5 innings, he has struck out 7, and he has walked 1. Fennings, of course, does have the strict pitch count limit. We talked to Brooke Knight earlier today, but he said he might be able to go 4, maybe 5, but that would be really pushing it. Fennings, of course, out of Oregon State, one of the stars of this WWWL, always brings out plenty of scouts. This Portland Gherkins lineup will be Cedillo, Ramsey, Mushka in the first 3, the lefty Herzog in the cleanup spot, Norman and Bridge in 5 and 6, and to round things out, Colby Grace, Cade Edmondson, and Humberto Alarcon. In the outfield for the Westland Knights, it is Jake Holcroft in left. He'll be our 3rd inning interview. Briley Knight in center, Thomas Ducart in right. The infield moving from left to right, Jake Ducart at 3rd, Andy Armstrong at short, Chad Stevens over at 2nd, James Anderson at 1st, and putting down the sides in the squat is Nicholas Klemp. Again, not a lot of familiarity between these two ball clubs. The Knights in their pinstripes with the dark maroon numbers spelled out in cursive along the chest and the block letters on the back. Gherkins in those bright blues with Gherkins spelled across the chest in script and big block blue numbers on the back. So the righty Cedillo stands in to face Jake Fennings as we get going for our playoff Saturday. It's 2 semifinal games, 1 versus 4 going at it to start things off. Righty Cedillo looks on, taps the plate once. Fennings has not pitched against this Gherkins team. Righty on righty, the opening offering home. High, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Cedillo hitting .381. He was 2 for 4 yesterday. Put up 2 home runs in the home run derby. 1-0 to him. Strike catches the inside part of the plate, and the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The wind was blowing strong an hour ago during batting practice. It has died down significantly. 1-1 from Fennings to Cedillo. Upstairs, and the count at 2 balls and a strike. No score, top of the first, just getting going with nobody out and the bases empty. Portland and Westland going at it. Fennings sets at the waist. Is 2-1 to Cedillo. Check swing, Cedillo goes around, and the count levels out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cedillo, Ramsey, Mushka to start things off. Patrick Mushka moved from the 4 spot to the 3 spot in this last week of Wild Wild West League baseball. The 1 seed and the 4 seed going at it. 2-2 to Cedillo from Fennings. Strike 3 called at the knees, and Ruben Cedillo is down looking. As Jake Fennings, in the first batter he sees, picks up his first strikeout of the ball game. So with the bases empty and 1 out, no score between Westland and Portland. The right-handed batter, Rowan Ramsey, digs in. Ramsey holds the bat on the right shoulder. First pitch to him. Misses away. The count of 1 ball and no strikes. Ramsey rocking two, looks like Adidas bands around his forearms. Haven't seen that before out of him. Always has the taped up wrist. 1-0. Catches at the knees, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Top 1 between Portland and Westland, scoreless. Nobody on and 1 out. Just getting going in our first semifinal game. 1-1 on its way home from Fennings. And that clips Ramsey on the back. Rowan Ramsey jogs down to first base. He takes a bruise and 90 feet, and in stands the righty Patrick Mushka. So opportunity for this Gherkins team to strike first. As Patrick Mushka with a closed off stance steps into the batter's box. Throw over to first, and back is Ramsey standing. Top 1, 1 on, 1 out. Portland and Westland scoreless, but the Gherkins have a runner aboard. First pitch to Mushka from Fennings. Swing and a foul back to the screen. And the count at 0-1. Mushka, a leading candidate for the Allen Miller All-Hair team. He's got a great flow. Said he's going for a Charlie Blackmon look. 0-1. Upstairs. And the count on 1 ball and 1 strike. Mushka came in with another great pregame fit. Short shorts, a tank, the sunglasses. Feeling like Gardner Minshew. Feeling dangerous. 1-1 on its way to Mushka with a runner aboard. Up high. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. Cedillo struck out looking. Ramsey reached first as he was hit in the back by a pitch from Fennings, and now Mushka stands in. Top 1, no score, and 1 out. Westland and Portland going at it. 2-1 home. Swing and a miss. And the count evens up at 2-2. Well, if you're the Gherkins, you know Fennings has a pitch restriction, so the goal has to be get him out of the game as soon as possible. Leading at first is Ramsey. Fennings 2-2 to Mushka. There goes Ramsey. Ball is upstairs. The throw to second, and plenty of time. Ramsey is caught stealing. A good throw by Nicholas Klemp. And now there's 2 away with the bases empty and a full count to Mushka. Fennings, who works from about the dead middle of that rubber. Looks on. Payoff pitch. Home. Swinging a high fly ball down the left field line. Moving over is Holcroft into foul territory. Looking up. And he runs out of room. Holcroft ran into the equipment over there down the left field line as he was running towards Tucker and Randy Brock. As Mushka will dig back in. No score between Portland and Westland. Top of the first in this semifinal game in the Wild Wild West League. Bases empty and 2 outs. Payoff pitch on its way home. Swinging a foul just back to the screen. And the count remains full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our first of 2 playoff games today. We'll have the Pickles and the Grey Wolves at 7:30. 2 gone, bases empty, top 1, no score. 3-2 offering. At the knees for a strike, and Mushka is retired. 1 hit by pitch, a caught stealing, and 2 strikeouts for Jake Fennings. To the bottom of the first we go. And no score between the Portland Gherkins and the Westland Knights here on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Adventus Health. To the bottom of the first we go. No score between the Westland Knights and the Portland Gherkins. And in stands the left-hander, Jake Holcroft. Holcroft will face Jacob Asa, who's high 80s to low 90s. Fastball splitter curve for Asa. Asa threw nearly 100 pitches in his last outing against the Pickles, as he works for his second time against the Knights. Pitched against the Knights in their opening game in the Wild Wild West League back on July 12th. His first pitch home. Upstairs, and the count at 1 ball and no strikes. In that first outing against this Knights team, Asa went 2 2/3, gave up 4 earned runs. His 1-0. Downstairs, in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. It will be Holcroft, the lefty, Armstrong, the righty, and Bradley Knight, another lefty batter. 2-0. Swing and a foul back to the screen. And the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Holcroft leads the league in RBIs with 20. He leads the league in home runs with 4. And he's 4th in the league in batting average at .377. Not too shabby. Base is empty, no score between Westland and Portland, bottom of the first, and nobody out. 2-1 on its way. Swinging a slicing line drive down the left field line that hooks foul over the Gherkins bullpen, and the count levels out. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Holcroft. Holcroft started in all 15 games he played in, hitting .484 at the University of Portland. 2-2. And he taps one foul just out of the glove of Cade Edmondson. And stays alive to see another pitch from Jacob Asa. A lot of guys out here marvel at the way Holcroft has been able to hit the baseball. Talking to Gabe Scoro yesterday. 2-2. Low and outside, and the count runs full. Had Gabe on our infield interview. Holcroft hit a double, and Gabe goes, man, that guy can really hit the ball, and boy, can he. Continues to have great games night in and night out. 3-2-2. And he swings and rolls one down the right field line, foul. As he stands back in to see the 7th pitch of the at-bat. No score between the Portland Gherkins and the Westland Knights. Bottom of the first, nobody on, nobody out. Payoff pitch home. Swinging another foul down the left field line. And the count remains at 3-2. Holcroft calls Upland, California home. Looks in towards Asa. The 3-2. Upstairs, what an at-bat from Jake Holcroft. Fighting off pitch after pitch, he takes a 9-pitch walk. And up comes the right-handed batter, Andy Armstrong. Armstrong will be heading into his 5th year at Oregon State after this summer. Has a national championship ring. As he digs in with a runner at first and nobody out. First pitch, there goes Holcroft. The bunt is popped up back to the screen. And they counted 0-1. So a little small ball from this Knights team to start the game. Armstrong hitting .224. Was 1 for 4 yesterday. Holcroft doesn't go. And the 1-0 is low and outside. Asa with his best outing of the summer. Last time out against the Pickles, trying to replicate that here in the semifinal game. 1-1, Holcroft runs. Here's a swing and a shot, and it almost clips Holcroft. Into right field it goes. Holcroft digs for third. He's in there standing. Andy Armstrong almost got his own teammate out. And instead, there's runners at the corners with nobody out for the lefty Bradley Knight. Man, it's always the danger with a hit and run. You hit your guy, he's out. And Holcroft barely missed that baseball. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Bottom 1. No score between Portland and Westland. Asa trying to work out of a jam. His first pitch to the lefty. Low and outside. Runner goes, no throw. And a free stolen base for Andy Armstrong. The Knights continue to be active on the base paths. as they have 2 in scoring position and nobody out. Again, 35 stolen bases in the regular season. 1-0. At the knees for a strike. In the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And if you're wondering if the Knights got caught stealing at all, well, they were 35 for 38. Absolutely ridiculous numbers. 2 in scoring position, nobody out, 1-1. Up and outside. And the count at 2 balls and a strike. Westland Knights and the Portland Gherkins, the 1 seed and the 4 seed, going at it. No score, but Westland with 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out here in the bottom of the first. 2-1 home. And a swing and a high fly ball into right center field. Knight sends one for a ride. Moving back is Bridge. This ball is playable. The center fielder makes the catch. Everybody tags up 90 feet, and Westland is on the board. Riley Knight just missed that one as it was short of the warning track. But he does bring home a run on the sacrifice fly. And up comes the right-handed batter, the cleanup man, Chad Stevens. Stevens ripped his pants right underneath his right hamstring yesterday. That hole is still there. 1 on, 1 out, opening offering. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Holcroft walked. He reached third on a single by Andy Armstrong, who stole second. And a sacrifice fly by Riley Knight moved everybody up 90 feet and scored Jake Holcroft. Runner third, 1 out. Westland 1, Portland none. Bottom of the first. 0-1 home. And Stevens rolls one right towards the Gherkins dugout. Sean Alvarado almost gets clipped with a baseball. He's able to move out of the way. And the count at 0-2. Stevens, junior out of the University of Portland, calls Fox Island, Washington home. Has 9 stolen bases on the summer. 0-2 for Mesa. Swinging a rocket into left center field. Bridge looking up. Bridge at the track. It's gone to the deepest part of the ballpark. Chad Stevens. And it's a 3-0 Westland lead here in the bottom of the first. Stevens with his second home run of the year, his 15th and 16th RBIs. And just like that, the Westland Knights lead the Portland Gherkins 3-0. So in stands the left-handed batter, Jake Ducart. Asa looks on, first pitch, up and in the count at 1 ball and no strikes. And Asa last time out against this Knights team went 2 2/3 and gave up 4 runs. Here's 1-0 home. Ducart swings, lines one right at the second baseman. Ramsey takes it on the short hop with the backhand and goes to first with plenty of time to get Jake Ducart. So 2 gone here in the bottom of the first. Westland 3, Portland none. And the base is empty as in stands the right-hander James Anderson out of Skagit Valley. Anderson is going to make an impact wherever he goes after Skagit. He has been quite the ball player. Opening offering. On the outside for a strike. In the count at 0-1. Anderson hitting .311. 1-1. Downstairs. And the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Westland 3, Portland none, bottom 1. 2 gone, bases empty, 1-1. Swinging a pop-up towards Asa. He calls it off on the pitcher's mound, takes a step back, and makes the catch. A 2-run home run by Chad Stevens helps the Westland Knights take a 3-0 lead over the Portland Gherkins through an inning of play. To the top of the second we go on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Aventus Health. To the top of the second we go here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins done in our semifinal Saturday. The 1 seed and the 4 seed going at it as the lefty Justin Herzog digs in to start things off for the Gherkins. First pitch home, and he swings and misses, and the count at 0-1. Fennings at 17 pitches. He's had a hard cap of 50 this summer, 0-1. Swing and a miss, and the count at 0-2 to Herzog. Herzog, the sophomore out of Western Oregon University, graduate of Century High School. 0-2 on its way to. Low and outside, and the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Herzog, a carpool buddy with Patrick Mushka, who hits right above him. The 1-2 to the cleanup man, and he spoils it foul. The count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Base is empty, nobody out. Top of the second. Westland 3, Portland none. Fennings 1-2 home. Up and away, and the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. And another foul back to the screen. Herzog fights off a couple pitches. The count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Herzog, Norman, Bridge. In this second inning, Fennings went 3 up, 3 down with a pair of strikeouts in the first. 2-2 on its way home. Swing and a miss. A strikeout to end the first, 1 to start the second. And with 1 out and the base is empty, up comes the righty Miles Norman. Norman has played center field in the absence of Bryce Bridge, moved to right after Bridge returned. 1 out, base is empty. First pitch to him. At the knees for a strike. And the count at 0-1. Westland 3, Portland none. Top 2. 1 out and nobody out. A 1 from Fennings. Swinging a slicing line drive down the right field line over the Knights bullpen. And the count moves to 0 balls and 2 strikes to Norman. So Fennings in the driver's seat. The former Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Idaho. 0-2 home. Swing and a miss. Ball's in the dirt. Klemp gets to it. He throws to Anderson at first. And 2 up, 2 down on strikeouts here in the second. 4 strikeouts for Jake Fennings. And up comes the right-hander Bryce Bridge. We talked about earlier, Fennings has been dominant in his 5 previous innings. 7 strikeouts and a walk. He's through 1 2/3. He's got 4 strikeouts and 1 walk here. His opening offering. Swing and a miss. And Bridge in the hole, 0-1. Center fielder Bryce Bridge with the open stance. Wags the bat at the waist, holds it on the right shoulder, the 0-1 home. And he waves at another curveball. And the count at 0-2. When Fennings first debuted in the WWWL, there were 20-plus scouts here. Counted 6 before the ball game. 0-2 on its way. And swinging a foul back to the screen. Count remains at 0 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of guys excited about Fennings because of his stature. 6'7", lengthy kid. He looks tall from far away. Looks in. Herzog with an 0-2 count. The pitch. And he swings and rolls one towards first base. To his left, scooping it up is Anderson. He bobbles it, and he can't throw it to Fennings. And E3 has a runner aboard here in the second. And up comes the right-handed batter, Colby Grace. Second base runner of the ball game for the Gherkins. Westland 3, Portland none. Top 2, 1 on and 2 outs. Grace with the red end of his bat digs in, taps the plate twice, and looks towards Fennings. Leading at first is Bridge. He's got good speed. Opening offering, up and away. And the count at 1 ball and no strikes. Leading at first is Bridge. He's 1 for 2 on stolen bases. The ready Grace looks on, 1-0. High again. And the count at 2 balls and no strikes. So after striking out for the first 5 batters he faced, the air by Anderson down at first base has a runner aboard and 2 out here in the second. 2-0 from Fennings. Swing and a miss. And the count at 2 balls and a strike. Jake Fennings, a guy, if there was no pitch restriction, you could see him maybe having a couple no-hitters. 2-1 to Grace. Swing and a miss. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind starting to blow out to left center. Westland 3, Portland none. 2 outs, top of the second. Leading at first is Bryce Bridge after the air by James Anderson. Fennings looks towards Bridge. And is 2-2. Another swing and a miss. Jake Fennings strikes out the side. He's got 5 strikeouts through 2 innings of work. To the bottom of the second we go. It's Westland 3, Portland none. Here on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Adventist Health.
It started with a checkup that led to a question that spurred a discovery that changed the way we practice health, which led to more questions and more discoveries that changed more ways we practice health. And on it goes. Introducing OHSU Health, a system of doctors and nurses, researchers, clinics, and hospitals, all working together to build a better way to wellness.
To the bottom of the second we go here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon, as the lefty Decker Stedman stands in. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. Knights getting a 2-run home run by Stevens in the first. Opening offering from Asa. Swinging a shot up the middle and into left center field for a base hit. Moving to his right and cutting it off is Bryce Bridge as he holds Stedman to a single on the first pitch here in the second. So Decker Stedman, the former Register Guard 2019 Prep Athlete of the Year, is aboard. And in stands the right-handed batter, Nicholas Klemp. Klemp, another University of Portland student. Aces throw over to first, and back standing is Stedman. Stedman has not stolen any bases this summer. Again, is also a pitcher for this Knights team. Opening offering. Low and outside. And Klemp with a 1-0 count. Sun starting to peek from out of the clouds. Westland 3, Portland none. Runner at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the second. Aces 1-0. Runner goes. Swinging a drive into right center field. Bridge gets to it. Stedman's got to go back to first. Bridge makes the catch. The throw to first is wide. And the Knights avoid a mistake that could cost them 2 outs. Instead, just a fly out to center. As up comes the lefty, Thomas Ducar. Last time saw the Knights make that mistake. It cost them the ball game against the Pickles. This time, Stedman able to get back in time. 1 on, 1 out. Bottom 2, Westland 3. Throw over to first. And back standing is Stedman. And the Portland Gherkins done. A semifinal Saturday matchup. The 1 seed versus the 4 seed here at Bob Brock Stadium. Ace's first pitch. On the outer edge. And the count at 0-1. Stedman singled. Klemp flew out to center. Knights looking to add to their 3-0 lead over the Gherkins here in the bottom of the second. Another throw to first, and back is Stedman again. Stedman was running on the ball that Klemp sent into center field, so even though he doesn't have a stolen base, Brooke Knight still sending him. 0-1, and Dukart slices one down the left field line, hooking foul. And the count moves to no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Jake Holcroft is on deck. He walked and scored back in the first. 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the second. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. Issa the righty sets and throws back to first, and back is Stedman. It's not a quick move by Issa. It's more of a lob to keep Stedman close, but doesn't really have a chance of getting Decker out. 0-2 home. Swing and a miss. Nasty splitter from Jacob Issa as he retires Thomas Dukart. And with 1 on and 2 gone, the left-handed batter Jake Holcroft digs in. Issa's first pitch to Holcroft. Swinging a shot up the middle, past the diving glove. No, knocked down by Alarcon, and he steps on second. Boy, that ball looked like it got away from Umberto. He dove to his left, scooped it up, and tagged at second base. To the top of the third we go. No score, but in this second inning, it's Westland 3, Portland none, through 2. And our Wild Wild West League Street brought to you by Adventist Health. To the top of the third we go here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. It's the Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins none. Jake Fennings, who's got 5 strikeouts and his 6 recorded outs, digs in to face the right-handed batter, Cade Edmondson. Winner of this game moves on to the championship. The 1 seed and the 4 seed going at it. Righty on righty, the opening offering. At the knees for a strike, and the count at 0-1. The sun has come out here in Aurora, Oregon. No wind. 0-1 home. Swinging a big chopper and a foul ball. The Knights going ahead and throwing to first anyway. Base is empty, nobody out. Top of the third. Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins none. It'll be the 8-9-1 spots here in the third. Edmondson, Alarcon, and Cedillo. Fennings already out of Oregon State. Standing at 6-7 sets. Here's 0-2. In the dirt. And the count at a ball and 2 strikes to Cade Edmondson. Edmondson heading to California Lutheran after the closing of Concordia. graduate from Wilsonville High School. 1-2 on his way to. And he swings and grounds one down the left field line, foul. And the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Fennings has given up 1 walk. That was to Ramsey in the first, but Ramsey was thrown out trying to steal against Nicholas Clem. That's the only out not recorded by a strikeout. 1-2 home. Swinging a slicing line drive down the right field line, foul. Fennings ended the second inning with 35 pitches. In the past, it's been a hard cap at 50, but Brooke Knight did talk about possibly him going 4 innings, so we'll see. 1-2 home. Check swing, and he went around. 6 strikeouts for Jake Fennings. So the right-handed batter, Humberto Alarcon, in the 9 spot, digs in. Bases empty, 1 out, top 3. Westland 3, Portland none, opening offering. Upstairs. The count at 1 ball and no strikes. I think the strategy has to be for the Gherkins try to keep it close while Fennings is on the mound. And Washburn, who's up next, try to get to him, 1-0. Swinging a drive into right center field. Little looper coming in is Ducart from right. He gets under it and makes the catch. So 2 gone quickly. There's the second out recorded by Fennings. That's not a strikeout. And up comes Ruben Cedillo. Cedillo struck out looking back in the first to start the ball game. The leadoff righty hitter digs in. Bases empty, 2 gone, top 3. First pitch to Cedillo. In the dirt. And the count at 1-0. 3 runs in the bottom of the first by the Westland Knights. They lead it 3-0 over the Portland Gherkins. Semi-final matchup between the 1 seed and the 4 seed in the Wild Wild West League. 1-0 home. Swing and a miss. Cedillo waves at a fastball right by him, and the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Fennings holds at the waist. Here's 1-1. Skips in again. And the count at 2 balls and a strike. Gherkins have to be more disciplined against Jake Fennings. He's going to be swinging at everything, and Ruben Cedillo taking a couple pitches. Bases empty, 2 gone, top 3. Westland 3, Portland none. 2-1 home. Catches the inside corner, and the count levels out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game that started with overcast weather has now gotten a little warmer with the sun out. A breeze flowing. The 2-2. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. Make that number 7 from Jake Fennings through 3 innings as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Fennings on a roll. The Knights lead the Gherkins 3-0 here in our Wild Wild West League Stream, brought to you by Adventus Health. To the bottom of the third we go here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. It's the Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins none. As in stands the right-handed batter, Andy Armstrong. Armstrong singled and scored back in the first. He also stole a base. And he'll lead things off. It'll be Armstrong, Knight, Stevens, opening offering. And he swings and fouls one back to the screen. And the count at 0-1. Armstrong, 5th year out of Oregon State, looks at an 0-1 and takes it low. And the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. One, and he swings and drives one foul down the right field line. Andy Armstrong was a All Pac-12 defensive honorable mention back in 2019. In his full season, he batted .248 with a home run and 13 RBIs. 1-2 to him. And he swings and rolls one up the middle. To his left on the backhand is Ramsey, but he has no throw. So the second baseman, Ramsey, able to get to the baseball, but has no play at first as Armstrong picks up the infield single, and up comes the lefty, Briley Knight. Westland 3, Portland none. Bottom of the third, 1 on, nobody out. Jacob Asa on the mound, sets at the bell. And he throws over to first, and back with a head-first dive is Andy Armstrong. Now Armstrong has stolen some bases this year. He's 3 for 3. Opening offering tonight. Upstairs. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Wind is starting to pick up as it blows from left to right. Armstrong leads at first after his infield single. Nobody out. 1-0. Up and away. And the count at 2 balls and no strikes. And this is a Knights team that loves to steal bases, loves to be aggressive on the base paths. Talking with Gabe Scoro yesterday, he said, they'll just take 90 from you and you won't even know it. Back to first is the throw by Asa, and back in safely is Armstrong with the slide. Briley Knight, with the axe handle on his bat, taps the plate twice, looks towards Jacob Asa. Runner at first, nobody out, bottom 3. The pitch, and a swing and a foul down the left field line. And the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Westland putting up all 3 of their runs in the first inning. The first of those runs coming off a sacrifice fly from Briley Knight that scored Jake Holcroft. Aces 2-1. And he swings and rolls one down the first base line. Mushka gloves it, steps on first, throws to second. The tag is in time. What a play by the first baseman, Patrick Mushka. With a 3-6 fielder's choice. As up stands the righty Chad Stevens with the bases empty and 2 gone. Stevens with a 2-run home run his last time up. He digs in, ready on righty, the pitch. And he fouls one off down the right field line. And the count at 0-1. Stevens picked up his second home run of the summer in his last at-bat. It was his first home run since Saturday, August 1st against the Gresham Grey Wolves. 0-1 home. And he swings and belts one right at the third baseman, Herzog, who doesn't have to move and makes the catch. A single, a double play, and a line out to third. The Knights go down in order. To the 4th we go through 3 here at Bob Brock. It's Westland 3, Portland none. To the top of the fourth we go as the Westland Knights lead the Portland Gherkins 3-0 in our first of two semifinal games. Fennings to face the righty Ramsey. First pitch home. Upstairs for a ball on the count at 1-0. Jake Fennings with 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. Although he hasn't been able to get ahead of batters a lot. It's been a lot of 1-0 counts, 2-0 counts. Then he works back in to get the strikeout. Here's the 1-0 home. And Ramsey swings and belts one into right center field. This ball towards the gap, towards the wall, and it bounces and hits the wall. Ramsey around first, on his way to second with a leadoff double. And the Portland Gherkins have a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the fourth. Ramsey gets the first knock of the ball game for the 4th-seed Portland Gherkins, and an opportunity with a runner in scoring position, and nobody out for the right-handed batter, Patrick Mushka. Westland 3, Portland none. Top 4, but the Gherkins threatening here against Jake Fennings. Fennings giving up his first hit all summer to Rowan Ramsey. Opening offering home. Up high. And the count at 1 ball and no strikes. So Fennings, through 10 innings, had 14 strikeouts with a walk and no hits allowed. Now he's got 1 hit. And that belongs to Rowan Ramsey. Stand out for Morgan State, set at the bell. And is 1-0 to Mushka. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. So again, Fennings is going to have to work back into the count. Mushka in the driver's seat with 2 balls and no strikes. Ramsey with good speed leads at second base. 2-0 home. Swinging a high fly ball into left center field. The center fielder Bradley Knight moves over, calls off Jake Holcroft, makes the catch. Ramsey not tagging. And Mushka is gone as up comes Justin Herzog. Herzog struck out swinging his last time up to start the second inning as he steps in here in the fourth with Rowan Ramsey at second base and 1 gone. Westland 3, Portland none, top 4. Gherkins with a chance to get on the board against the Knights ace. Opening offering to lefty Herzog. Strike at the corner. Fennings brings the heat with that fastball, and the count at 0-1. Rowan Ramsey able to get the first hit all summer off Jake Fennings. 0-1 on his way home. Swinging a pop-up behind home plate. Nicholas Klemp, the catcher, watches it fall just over the screen, and the count at 0 balls and 2 strikes. We had Fennings on the pregame show about a week ago. I asked him, how's it been pitching with all these scouts and a lot more attention on you? He said, you know, he's always had scouts, he's always had attention, but this year it's been a little more intense just because he realized it's his draft year. I like the way he phrased that. He realized. He was like, oh, wait, I'm getting drafted. 0-2 on its way to Herzog. Swing and a miss. How about 8 strikeouts for Jake Fennings? As up comes the right-handed batter, Miles Norman, with a runner at second, and now 2 gone. Norman taps the plate, looks towards Fennings. Guess what? He struck out swinging his last time up. Who would have thought? Runner at second and 2 gone. Opening offering. Up and away. And the count at a ball and no strikes. Ramsey doubled to right center to start the fourth. He's at second base. Mushka flew out to center. And Herzog struck out swinging. Fennings looking to keep it a 3-0 Westland lead here in the top of the fourth with 2 gone. The 1-0 home. Upstairs again. And the count at 2 balls and no strikes. The sun has peeked out from behind the clouds. The wind is blowing strong to left center. Miles Norman trying to put his team on the board. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. Top 4, 2 gone, runner at second. Here's the 2-0 from Fennings. Upstairs again, 3 balls and no strikes to Miles Norman. Right-hander Bryce Bridge is on deck. He reached on an E3 his last time up. Ramsey leads at second base. Norman with the open stance, waves the bat on his right shoulder. Fennings throws to second, and back is Ramsey. Chad Stevens covering. Stevens and Armstrong, one of the best up the middle infielders you'll see. They have been absolutely terrific this summer, flashing the leather multiple times. 3-0 home. Inside, and down to first goes Miles Norman on his 4-pitch walk, as up comes the righty Bryce Bridge. Bridge, the redshirt sophomore out of Schmecada Community College, calls Rockaway Beach, Oregon his home. In his free time, Bryce Bridge, the right-handed batter, is a umpire for younger kids. As now we're going to have a mound visit. And out comes Coach Brooke Knight. We'll see if he gets Washburn into the game. Everybody from the infield is going to come in, and we'll take a quick break and come right back. It's Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. Top of the fourth here at Bob Brock Stadium. 2 on and 2 out for the Gherkins. So as Brooke Knight walks back into the dugout, runners at second and first, it's Ramsey and Norman. Bryce Bridge, the righty, digs in. Westland 3, Portland none, but an opportunity for the Gherkins here in the top of the fourth. Opening offering. Catches the plate, and the count at 0-1. Bridge reached on an air his last time up. As Fenning steps off and steps back on. A double and a walk have 2 on for the Gherkins, trying to break the goose egg on the scoreboard. 0-1 from Fennings. In the dirt, good block by Nicholas Klemp. And the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. That'll be a big confidence boost for this Gherkins team to get to Jake Fennings. Fennings 14 strikeouts in his 3 appearances. Ridiculous stuff. And time is called. And in right field, looks like a ball came onto the field from the bullpen as Thomas Ducart tosses it back into the pin. One from Fennings. Up and in, and the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. We mentioned Fennings has been at a hard cap in terms of pitches. He had 48 through 3. He's at 63. Here at the top of the fourth. Runners at second and first. 2 gone. Westland 3, Portland none. Bridge looks in. 2-1 from Fennings. Swinging a tapper foul back to the screen. And the count levels out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ramsey doubled to right center. He leads at second base. Norman took a 4-pitch walk. He's got a large lead over there at first. 2 outs, 2 on, top 4. Westland 3, Portland none. Fennings 2-2-0. Swinging a pop-up down the right field line that hooks foul. And the count remains at 2-2. The Portland Gherkins, who had a 2-game lead at third place coming into the week, had everything go wrong as they fell to the 4th seed, now facing this Westland Knights team. An opportunity to get on the board here in the 4th. 2-2 on its way. Swinging a 2-chopper left side. Third baseman Ducart gloves it, and he'll run down to third for the 4th out. 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left aboard, but no runs come in for the Portland Gherkins. To the bottom of the 4th we go. It's Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none, here at Bob Brock Stadium on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Dave's Killer Bread.
It started with a checkup that led to a question that spurred a discovery that changed the way we practice health, which led to more questions and more discoveries that changed more ways we practice health. And on it goes. Introducing OHSU Health, a system of doctors and nurses, researchers, clinics, and hospitals, all working together to build a better way to wellness.
Bottom of the fourth here in Aurora, Oregon at Bob Brock Stadium. The Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins none. Left-handed batter Jake Ducart digs in. Ducart grounded out to second his last time up. Jacob Asa still on the mound. After 24 pitches in the first inning, he dealt 7 in the second and only 10 in the third. First pitch out. Swinging a slow roller back to second base. Second baseman Ramsey waits for it from deep in the dirt. He fields and throws to first for an out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Asa. And James Anderson, the right-handed batter out of Skagit Valley, digs in. Anderson popped out to Asa his last time up. First pitch home. Downstairs. In the count of 1 ball, no strikes. A sunny, windy afternoon here in Aurora, Oregon. 1-0 home. Up and in. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. Bottom of the fourth, 1 out, and the base is empty. Anderson steps in, rests the bat on his right shoulder, 2-0. And he swings and fouls one off his right foot. And the count at 2 balls and a strike. Anderson in yesterday's ball game against the Pickles was 0 for 1, took a walk. 2-1-2. Catches at the knees, and the count levels out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield playing awfully deep for Anderson, even though he's yet to hit a home run. 2-2. And he swings and rolls one towards Brook Knight in foul territory down the third baseline. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ducart grounded out on the first pitch he saw. 1 out, base is empty. Here in the bottom of the fourth. 2-2-0. Swing and a pop-up into center, starting forward. Now working back as Bridge. He gets under it, reaches up, and makes the catch. So 2 gone quickly for Asa. And with the bases empty in the bottom of the fourth, in stands the lefty Decker Stedman. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. Stedman singled to start the second his last time up. Righty on lefty, opening offering. Skips in front of the plate, and the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Talked to Coach Mosier before the game. He said, got into a little bit of trouble with Asa's head coach after Asa threw nearly 100 pitches in his last outing. 1-0 home. Down and in. In the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Ace is empty, 2 gone. Westland 3, Portland none. Bottom of the fourth. And our semifinal Saturday game. The 1 seed versus the 4 seed, 2-0. Downstairs again. 3 balls and no strikes to the lefty Stedman. On deck is the right-hander Nicholas Klepp. Stedman, the sophomore out of the University of Oregon, taps the plate once, 3-0. Up and away, a 4-pitch, 2-out walk to Decker Stedman. As the righty Nicholas Klepp digs in. So the bottom of the fourth continues. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Portland Gherkins. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Westland Knights. Runner at first, opening offering. Upstairs, and the count at 1 ball and no strikes. Clemp flew out to center his last time up. 1-0 to him. And he swings and slices one down the right field line. Miles Norman, the right fielder, working over into foul territory. He runs out of room. Rowan Ramsey also went after it, lost his hat. And the count at a ball and a strike to Nicholas Klemp. Klemp played with Corvallis last summer in 194, the Corvallis Knights. Now the Westland Knights here in the WWWL. Throw over to first, and back is Stedman. We saw Stedman run a couple times. His last time he reached the base pass, but did not steal. Every time he ran, Knights seemed to foul a pitch off. Asa again over to first, and back standing is Stedman. Bottom 4, 2 outs, runner at first base, Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. 1-1 on its way from Asa. Upstairs, in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Klemp went to Everett Community College for transfer to the University of Portland, 2-1. And he swings and pops one up down the right field line. First baseman Musha coming over. Ramsey calls him off the second baseman, and he makes the catch in foul territory. 1 walk, 1 left aboard, no runs come in. Jacob Asa having a nice game here through 4. It's the Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins none. To the 5th we go. In our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Adventus Health. To the top of the 5th we go here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. It'll be the bottom of the lineup to face the new righty pitcher, Jack Washburn. Washburn, a freshman at Oregon State. Looks on towards the ready Grace, opening offering. Swing and a miss. And the count at 0-1. Well, Washburn has just been another great Knights pitcher out of the pen. 14 innings, 20 strikeouts. Is 0-1. Inside. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Grace. Colby Grace, Cade Edmondson, Humberto Alarcon. Grace struck out swinging his last time up, 1-1. Misses low and away. And the count 2 balls and a strike. The wind is blowing awfully hard to straightaway center. Bases empty, nobody out. Top of the 5th. Westland 3, Portland none, 2-1. At the knees for a strike. And the count at 2-2. Washburn pitched 4 games in relief for Oregon State, 2-2. Skips in. And they counted 3 balls and 2 strikes. He did not get a decision, and Ended with an inflated 7.36 ERA. But he has definitely found his rhythm here in the Wild Wild West League. 3-2 home. Swinging a foul towards the on-deck circle of the Gherkins on the third base line, and the count remains full at 3-2. Grace hitting .304. Leading off this fifth, 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout to Colby Grace. First batter, Jack Washburn sees. He sends to the dugout. And the ninth strikeout of the ball game for the Westland Knights. So the right-handed batter, Cade Edmondson, digs in. Base is empty, 1 out. First pitch to him. And he taps one foul off his back foot. Counted 0-1. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins done in our semifinal Saturday matchup. The 1 seed and the 4 seed going at it. 0-1 home. Skips in the dirt. And the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Base is empty, 1 away. 0-1 home. On the outside for a strike. And the count at a ball and 2 strikes to Edmondson. Edmondson struck out swinging to start the third his last time up. 1-2. Swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 down on swinging strikeouts for Jack Washburn. And in stands the right-handed batter, Humberto Alarcon. Alarcon made a nice play diving to his left up the middle. Back in the second inning. Opening offering to him. Low and away. And the count at a ball and no strikes. Top of the fifth. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none, 1-0. Skips in the dirt, and the count at 2 balls and no strikes. The base is empty. 2 gone, both on swinging strikeouts. Jack Washburn comes out of the bullpen and is on fire for this Westland team. 9 combined strikeouts for him. 2-0. Low and away. 3 balls and no strikes to Alarcon. Leadoff ready. Ruben Cedillo is on deck. He struck out twice. Washburn's 3-0. Catches the outer edge in the count of 3 balls and 1 strike. All 3 runs coming for the team from Westland in the bottom of the third. Gherkins have 1 hit on the ball game. Here's the 3-1. On the inside for strike 2, and the count runs full, 3-2. 2 outs. Base is empty and a full count. Payoff pitch on. Downstairs, ball 4. Alarcon jogs down 90 feet as the top of the 5th continues. And in stands the right-handed batter, Ruben Cedillo. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. Top of the 5th, 2 gone and a runner at first base. Washburn sets his opening offering at the knees for a strike, and the count at 0-1. Cedillo hit a home run in his first ever at-bat as a Portland Gherkin. The only player in the WWWL to do that. 0-1 home. Low and away, and the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The wind blowing strong out to left center. The Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins none. Gherkins with 1 on and 2 out here in the top of the 5th. 1-1 on its way to Cedillo, and a throw over to first. And back on a head-first dive is Alarcon. 4 innings, 8 strikeouts for Fennings. So far for Washburn, he's through 2/3. He's got 2 strikeouts. 1-1. Swinging a foul down the right field line. And the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Well, Jacob Asa on the mound for the Portland Gherkins has kept them in this ballgame. Can the Gherkins get on the board with a new pitcher on the mound? Washburn looks towards first, where Alarcon leads. and is 1-2 home. Up and away, and the count levels out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cedillo and Linn Benton hit .091 in the shortened season. He's hitting .381 with the Gherkins. Has found his swing. Throw over to first, head first dive, just back safely is Alarcon. Two balls and 2 strikes to Cedillo. Westland 3, Portland none. Top 5, runner at first, and 2 gone. 2-2 home. Strike 3 on the outer edge. Down goes Cedillo for the 3rd straight time, looking as Jack Washburn strikes out the side. 5 innings, 10 strikeouts for the Westland Knights as we're halfway home here at Bob Brock in Aurora, Oregon. It's Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Dave's Killer Bread. To the bottom of the 5th here at Bob Brock in Aurora, Oregon. 9-1-2 for the Westland Knights, who lead the Portland Gherkins 3-0. Jacob Asa, 56 pitches through 4, still on the mound, as he deals to the lefty Duca. Asa exhales, looks on. Sets at the waist, his opening offering. Swinging a sharp ground ball towards the Knights dugout down the first base line. And the count at 0-1 to Ducar. Ducar struck out swinging back in the 2nd. And Asa went 6 2/3 last time out, but he almost threw 100 pitches. Only 57 for him here. The 0-1. Swinging a one-hopper towards Herzog at third base. Third baseman scoops it up, fires across the mound to first in plenty of time. And there's one away in the bottom of the 5th. So the lineup card flips, and up comes the lefty leadoff man, Jake Holcroft. Holcroft grounded out his last time up in the 2nd. Opening offering to him. Catches the outer edge, in the count at 0-1. Base is empty, 1 out, bottom 5th. 0-1 home. Swinging a sharp ground ball towards the shortstop Alarcon. He scoops it up, goes across his body to first. And 2 up, 2 down to start the bottom of the 5th for the Portland Gherkins. 2 outs, the base is empty. Westland 3, Portland none. And the righty Andy Armstrong stands in. Armstrong picked up the last hit for the Knights back to start the 3rd inning. Was out on a double play. Ace's first pitch home. And he swings and slices one down the right field line. Running over there is Norman. He runs out of real estate. And the count at 0-1. Armstrong is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. He stole a base and scored a run. Westland Knights 3, Portland Gherkins none. Bottom 5, bases empty, and 2 outs. Jacob Asa working from the right side of the rubber. Looks in towards Armstrong. 0-1. Inside. And the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Asa has done a good job controlling this Knights team since the first, but hasn't got much help from his offense. 1-1 home. Swinging a pop-up right side. The second baseman Ramsey moves into the outfield. Looking up, he makes the catch, and that does it. The Knights go in order 1, 2, 3 for the first time today. As to the sixth we go through 5 here at Bob Brock Stadium. It's the Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins none on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Adventus Health.
It started with a checkup that led to a question that spurred a discovery that changed the way we practice health, which led to more questions and more discoveries that changed more ways we practice health. And on it goes. Introducing OHSU Health, a system of doctors and nurses, researchers, clinics, and hospitals, all working together to build a better way to wellness.
To the top of the sixth we go here at Bob Brock Stadium. Carlo Jimenez alongside Parker Huffman. Parker,
hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Right-hander Rowan Ramsey, who has the only hit of the summer off Jake Fennings, and he'll probably be able to claim that title. Fennings in his last outing today.
Yeah, it was a great hit out to right center field. Nice little double.
First pitch to him. On the inside for a ball. And the count at 1-0. So the Gherkins staying close here with the Westland Knights.
Yeah.
Knights only a 3-0 lead here in the top of the sixth, but you need some offense if you're the team from Portland.
Absolutely.
1-0. Catches the outer edge.
Let's see, Carlo, if I would have had my gapper call from last night, it would have been perfect.
Very true.
For his last hit.
Very true. 1-1 home. And Ramsey checks his swing. He goes around. They counted a ball and 2 strikes. Base is empty. Nobody out. Top of the sixth. Westland 3, Portland none. Parker out of this pit. After this pitch, we'll get to your 2:30 predictions.
Okay.
Got 6 of them here.
Yeah.
Trying to scan real quick. Couple are looking good. 1-2. Swinging a hard hit ball up the middle for a base hit. Rowan Ramsey with his second of the afternoon. He's got both knocks for the Portland Gherkins. And up comes the right-handed batter, Patrick Mushka, with 1 on and nobody out.
If there's any time to get things going, it's right here for the Gherkins.
So the first pick for you. Gherkins will lose in 9 innings.
Yeah. I didn't like riding it, but you got to give these Knights some credit eventually. They've had a great summer.
First pitch to Mushka, and he rolls one down the third baseline. Charging is Jake Dukart. No play at second. He goes to first. And there's one gone here at the top of the sixth.
Yeah, but I at least gave the Gherkins some credit. I didn't think there was going to be a 10-run rule used in this game, and I feel good about that one for sure. Second one, I had Ryan Moot's first pitch was going to be a ball. And there's some controversy. Ryan seems to think he threw a strike. We look back at the video, and I still think it was high. So,
in stands the lefty Herzog, and he looks at a first pitch ball. Well, we'll have to check the video replay.
We'll have to get your guys' opinion up here, but that's either or.
Ramsey at second base. Westland 3, Portland none. 1 out, top of the sixth. 1-0 to the lefty Herzog. Going to throw back to second, and sliding back safely is Ramsey.
Now the third one hasn't quite come to fruition, but we'll see if Jacob Asa stays in the game. I got him getting 4 more Ks. Right now he's sitting at 1.
He's pitched really well, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Runner at second. 1-0. Up high. And they counted 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep Asa in the game there and see what he can do. So that one's still out. And then I got 12-plus Ks in the game total for either team. I think we're at 11 right now.
We are.
So that's looking good.
No, you have 12. 11 by the Knights, 1 by the
Okay, there we go.
Gherkins. 2-0. Swing and a miss. And the count of 2 balls and 1 strike to the lefty Herzog. Ramsey singled. He reached second on a ground out by Mushka. Gherkins trying to get on the board with a runner at scoring position. Westland 3, Portland none. Top 6 here in our semifinal 2:30 Saturday matchup between the 1 seed and the 4 seed. Get Parker's next prediction after this 2-1 home. The pitch. Up and away, and the count of 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, so my last 2, I'm not really sure where I'm at with these yet. My 5th one, I got the Ducart brothers combining for 4 hits today.
We'll check that one after this 3-1 offering. Ramsey leads at second. Washburn looks that way and deals home. Catches at the knees, and the count runs full of 3 and 2. Ducarts, drum roll please, are 0 for 4.
Okay, yeah. Well, then they're due. So
there you go.
That's good for me. And then I got Holcroft with 2 stolen bases tonight as well, or this afternoon.
Payoff pitch on its way to the lefty Herzog. And he swings and rolls one down the right field line. Foul. And the count remains at 3 and 2. And Holcroft does not have a stolen base yet.
Right. But
still a lot of baseball to be played.
A lot, yeah. So, you know, I think technically, have I lost any?
Not yet.
No.
The one that I'm worried about is the Asa one. 3-2 home. Strike 3 called at the knees. Down goes Herzog.
Ouch.
There's the 12th strikeout of the ball game for the Knights and the 4th of the game for Jack Washburn.
Yeah, Asa's going to have to come back out next inning and strike out the side, which I think he could do. But, yeah, it's going to be tough to make that one happen.
Opening offering to the righty Norman, and he waves at a fastball. Man, these Gherkins bats just kind of look invisible today, the way they've been swinging at everything and missing.
Trying to be aggressive, which, you know, you got to do in a game like this, especially now when you're down 3. But, yeah.
A 1, low and outside. You got to be disciplined, too. I think that's the other, other half of it. It's good to be aggressive, but this Knights team has shown that they make mistakes once in a blue moon that hurt themselves.
Yep.
And for the Gherkins, you're hoping that's today. Runner at second, 2 gone. Top 6, Westland 3, Portland none. 1-1 home. Skips in, and the count 2 balls and a strike.
Now here's the time I got a runner in scoring position. I'm ahead 2-1 in the count. I'm going to start being a little less aggressive, a little bit more selective with the pitches that I'm going after.
Norman looks on the open stands. Washburn sets. And the 2-1. Catches the corner, and the count evens up at 2 and 2.
Pretty good pitch there.
Yeah, Washburn has found his spots over and over again. I mean, 2 strikeouts swinging, 2 strikeouts looking. 2-2 home. Downstairs, and the count at 3 and 2.
Yeah, you know, we talk a lot about this Knights offense, just how prolific they've been throughout the entire summer, but got to give some credit to their bullpen and their starters as well. They've certainly got some great arms out there.
Cooper Barnum out of the pen is probably a front runner for being the best pitcher this summer.
Yeah, he got my vote.
Washburn sets, looks at second, his payoff pitch on. Low and outside, and a walk to Norman with 2 outs. Keeps the top of the 6 rolling as up comes the right-hander, Bryce Bridge. Bridge came up in this exact same situation in the 4th inning. Ramsey had doubled, then Mushka and Herzog were retired, and Norman walked with 2 outs, and Bridge grounded out to third.
All right.
So with the similar circumstances, just about 30 minutes later, let's see if the Gherkins get a different result. Opening offering on the inside, gets away from Klemp for a second. And the count at 1-0. Gherkins have had chances, Parker, but they need to capitalize because Jacob Asa can't go 9, unfortunately.
Well, that's the thing when you're playing a team as talented as the Knights. You know, you get an opportunity, you got to jump on it and capitalize. Otherwise, you might.
1-0, swinging a slicing line drive down the right field line, hooking foul and into the Knights bullpen.
But yeah, if you don't capitalize on all the opportunities that you have, especially with runners in scoring position, it's likely you're going to find yourself kicking yourself at the end of the game. But we'll see what they can do here.
It will be interesting. Ramsey singled. He's got both hits this afternoon for the Gherkins. Still looking for their first run. He leads at second, and after the walk, Miles Norman is at first. Norman with a huge lead over there at first base. 1-1 to Bridge. Inside, and the count of 2 balls and a strike. So Bryce Bridge is the tying run, and that wind is blowing strong out to left center.
Sure is.
If I'm a hitter, I want to put one towards the scoreboard.
Yeah, if you get one on the middle or inside part of the plate, got to be ready to turn on that. See what you can do.
2 on, 2 out. Top 6, the 2-1. Low and outside, and a hitter's count to Bryce Bridge. So opportunity here for the Gherkins.
Yeah, big spot here. Certainly not going after anything unless it's the exact pitch that I want on this one.
3-1 home. At the knees for a strike. Another good pitch by Washburn, and another full count to a Gherkins hitter.
Just what I was talking about, though. Not a bad take. He's going to have to bring one across the plate again here, so.
Colby Grace is on deck. 2 on, 2 out. Top 5. Westland 3, Portland none. 3-2 home. Swinging a ground ball down the right field line. Foul. And the count remains at 3-2. Ramsey and Norman running on contact will head back to second and first.
Love to see the Gherks do something here, make this thing interesting.
You know, I talked to Coach Knight pregame, and in their last 2 wins, this Knights team has beaten the Gherkins by a combined score of 32-0. But he said this is playoff baseball. 3-2.
That's right.
So you know, another foul on the right field line. He was not as optimistic as I thought he would be. He said this one's going 9. You just have a feeling about these things.
Yep.
And the Gherkins with an opportunity to tie it up with a big fly.
No, these guys got heart, and they've got talent as well, so it's just a matter of putting the two together.
Payoff pitch home. Up high, and the bases are loaded for the Portland Gherkins. The tying runs are on the base paths, as up comes the right-handed batter, Colby Grace.
That's a great 2-out at bat there, and Colby Grace stepping into the box, got some power. Great bat. We'll see what he can do.
So out comes Brooke Knight. Knight said Dobmeyer would be after Washburn, but there's no action in the Knights pen. Parker, you want to keep it here?
Sure, why not?
So this Knights and Gherkins team, the Knights jumped out early in the first, and I think a lot of people were thinking, oh boy, here we go.
Right.
Jacob Asa has settled down. He's had a couple innings with single-digit pitch counts, and he's pitched really well. How impressed have you been by the righty from the Gherkins?
No, I've been very impressed. You know, he's he can throw hard, but not necessarily blowing it by anybody. So, especially when you're playing a team again with this much talent, you know, it's all about locating your pitches and throwing the right ones at the right time. And I think, both him and the catcher or the coach, whoever's calling the pitches, have done a great job of kind of strategizing for each individual batter. And he's done a great job. Three runs, like you said, they all came in the first, and here we are in the 6th, and Gherkins are still in this thing.
Yeah, since that 3-run first, he's given up 2 hits and a walk. That's it.
Yeah.
Bases are loaded. 2 gone. Top 6. 3-0 Knights. Opening offering to Grace. Catches the outer edge. And the count of 0-1. Generous call there. Colby Grace, and every batter knows the strike zone's a little wider.
Yeah, and they've been dealing with it all summer, so it's not something they're not used to.
0-1, and Grace fouls one off down the right field line, and just like that, Washburn in the driver's seat. The count at 0-2.
But yeah, I certainly would have kind of liked to see the zone tighten up a bit here, especially now that we're into the playoffs. But hasn't seemed to have been the case. So just gotta stick with what they've been doing, their approach throughout the whole summer.
0-2 on his way to Grace from Washburn. Strike 3 called on the outer edge. Down goes Colby Grace, and out of the jam comes Jack Washburn. To the bottom of the 6th here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. It's the Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins none on our Wild Wild West League stream. Brought to you by Adventist Health.
It started with a checkup that led to a question that spurred a discovery that changed the way we practice health, which led to more questions and more discoveries that changed more ways we practice health. And on it goes. Introducing OHSU Health, A system of doctors and nurses, researchers, clinics, and hospitals, all working together to build a better way to wellness.
To the bottom of the sixth we go. It's the Westland Knights 3, the Portland Gherkins done. Carly Menez, Parker Huffman rolling with you. Briley Knight, Chad Stevens, Jake Ducart. 3-4-5, heart of the lineup for the Westland Knights. And Jacob Asa got to get through one more test to try to help his team out into the seventh inning. Briley wags the bat at the waist. He is 0 for 1 today. First pitch to him. And he takes a strike on the outer edge, counted 0-1. Well, one thing that's nice to see is the pitch count is consistent both ways.
Yes, yeah, the umpire's definitely calling it consistently. But yeah, those corners are.
0-1, misses low and away, and the count of 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's certainly given those corners. But how about that double play by Patty Mushkat last time that Briley was up, man? That was something. Stepped on first, threw it to second for the tag.
1-1. Skips in, and they counted 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, and a real heads-up play by him. He short-hopped it, backhand.
Right.
And a nice tag applied by Humberto Alarcon.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. Guy's got some talent, man.
Oh, he does. Love to see him in a pickle uni next year. 2-1. Misses away. 3 balls and a strike to Briley Knight, and this is where things can get dangerous if you're Jacob Asa.
Yep. No free passes.
Bases empty, nobody out. Westland 3, Portland none. The 3-1. Away. And a leadoff walk to Briley Knight. A guy with 8 stolen bases on the summer is aboard. And up comes the cleanup righty, Chad Stevens.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised to see them get aggressive on the base pass here. Still a close game, and now you got a runner on with no outs. So be looking for that.
Asa has thrown over to first a lot today.
Yeah.
Threw over 6 times when Stedman was on first. And his first throw is to first, as Brack is Knight standing. You want to make it as hard as possible for Briley over there at first.
Yeah, he's well aware this Knights team has been very aggressive this summer.
Opening offering. Stevens puts down the bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike. Counted 0-1. Stevens with a 2-run home run in the first. He lined out to the third baseman, Herzog. That home run to the deepest part of the ballpark. 0-1. And he swings and fouls one off down the right field line. In the count at 0-2, Asa able to get ahead of the cleanup man from Westland.
Which is very important for him to do after walking the first batter. Now we'll see if he can keep it low. There's no reason to give him anything good to hit here, and see if he can get himself a ground ball.
Westland 3, Portland none. Throw to first. And Briley Knight back to first on his feet. Top, bottom of the 6th. Jacob Asa, who's been terrific on the mound, trying to keep it a 3-run ball game. He exhales 0-2. Swinging a high fly ball into center field. Back goes Bridge. Bridge hit the track. Bridge looking up. How about another? Chad Stevens with 2 two-run home runs over the 377 mark. And it's 5-0 Westland on top of the Gherkins.
Both of those home runs have been deep today. Just got to give him credit, man. He's patient, and then he finds the pitch that he wants.
That is a big home run by Chad Stevens. 3-0 doesn't sound so bad. 5-0 is a whole other ballgame.
Absolutely. And what a summer Stevens has had, man. Just time and time again shows up to the ballpark ready to play and gets it done.
He's the first player all summer to have 2 home runs in the same game. First pitch, Dukar looks at a ball downstairs, and how about to have that happen in the semifinal game?
Yeah.
It's a good day to pull it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just what they needed right there.
Bases empty, nobody out. Bottom 6, 1-0 to Dukar. And the lefty looks at a ball inside. They count it 2-0. Jake Dukar has grounded out to second in both of his at-bats. Westland 5, Portland none after the 2-run home run by Stevens, 2-0. Swinging a slicing fly ball into left center field. Moving over is the left fielder Cedillo. He camps out under it, makes the catch, and there's one away. That's got to be tough also, Parker, for Jacob Asa. Everything going so well. He hadn't allowed a hit in 11 batters.
Looks like that's going to be it for him, too.
And he gives up the home run to Stevens. 6 1/3, 5 earned runs allowed. A great outing by Jacob Asa.
Yeah.
As we'll take a break and come right back. Bottom 6 here at Bob Brock Stadium. The Westland Knights 5, the Portland Gherkins none. New pitcher coming in for the Gherks.
It started with a checkup that led to a question that spurred a discovery that changed the way we practice health, which led to more questions and more discoveries that changed more ways we practice health. And on it goes. Introducing OHSU Health, a system of doctors and nurses, researchers, clinics, and hospitals, all working together to build a better way to wellness.
One out, the base is empty. 2 runs in for the Westland Knights. They lead 5-0. Cameron Hagan, the right-handed pitcher, on the mound. His opening offering skips in the dirt. And the count at 1 ball, no strikes. Carly Menes and Parker Huffman hanging with you. Hagan, his last time out, won 5 innings, allowed a 1 run against the Gresham Grey Wolves on August the 2nd. 1-0 to the righty Anderson. On the inside for a strike. A little bit of a revenge game here from Hagan, Parker. Last time he faced the Knights, he went 2 innings, gave up 7 runs. Trying to erase that from his memory here today.
Yeah.
1-1 to Anderson. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. James Anderson has popped out to the pitcher and flown out to center. 2-run home run by Chad Stevens, his second of the ball game, as the Westland Knights up 5-0. 2-1 on its way. Check swing. And Anderson goes around. The count of 2-2. Hagan out of Schmekeda. Went to West Salem.
Okay.
2-2 to Anderson. And he swings and pops one up right side of the infield. Charging is Ramsey. He gets under it onto the infield grass. Moves back and makes the catch. Rowan Ramsey with the shades on, but wearing them backwards as he lost them looking out for the ball.
I don't know if he even noticed yet. Oh, there he goes.
So in stands the lefty Decker Stedman with 2 gone, and the base is empty.
Here's another guy who can really cause some damage at the plate. Also on the mound. Quite the player.
This guy is absolutely terrific. First pitch to him is low.
Got some family in the crowd today.
Hagen exhales. Here's 1-0. Swinging a shot right back up the middle, almost clips Hagen, and it reaches center field for a base hit. Decker Stedman with his second single of the ball game, the third time he's reached base. As up comes the righty Nicholas Klemp. Bottom of the 6th, 2 gone, 1 on first. Westland Knights 5, Portland Gherkins none. Ready, Klemp stands in. Parker, you got some trivia for us?
Yeah, I do. This one's pretty interesting. So
boy.
let's see. I'll let this first pitch go, and then we'll get into it.
Hagen looks on. Sets to the bell. Runner at first is Stedman. Opening offering. Low. And the count of 1-0.
All right. So this afternoon's trivia question is, who is the only pitcher, and a little hint, he was active in 2017, has since retired, to lead both the AL and the NL in shutouts in the same season?
1-0. Ball down. The count of 2 balls and no strikes. That's quite the feat.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we'll say it's the only pitcher to lead both the AL and the NL in shutouts in the same season.
Leading at first is Stedman. Klemp at the plate. And the 2-0 from Hagen. Low and inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Parker, you got to be a little honest with me here. But before you read the question, before you read the answer, did you think you knew who it was?
Absolutely not.
All right.
No.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm telling you, man, you guys got some good trivia questions up here. I would have a low percentage.
3-0. Catches a plate, and the count of 3 balls and a strike. Stedman with the 2-out single. He's at first. Nicholas Klemp, the righty, at the plate. A 2-run home run by Chad Stevens here in the bottom of the 6th has given the Westland Knights a 5-0 lead over the Portland Gherkins. Another University of Portland guy, Nicholas Klemp. 3-1, low and in, and it gets away from Edmondson. No rush from Stedman as he moves up to second. And there's 2 on with 2 out. For the 9-hole batter, the lefty Thomas Duca. This is where things can get dangerous if you're the Gherkins.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to see this this lineup turn around and get to the top of the order. So now is the time to get your out. And we got to force out at every base. So, multiple ways to get it done. Just got to attack the zone and not give him anything too good.
Ducardo for 2. First pitch, he grounds foul down the right field line. And they counted 0-1. Westland 5. Portland Gherkins none. Runners at second and first. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Ducart waves the bat at the waist, rocking those tie-dye orange gloves. The 0-1 on its way. On the outside, and the count at a ball and a strike. Parker, if you're Ducart here, you got 2 on with 2 out.
Yeah.
And you're 1-1 to Hagen. What's the approach?
Oh, I'm just sitting back and getting the one that I'm looking for. Probably a fastball is what I'm looking for.
There's the fastball and a swing and a miss.
See, that might have been the one, and you let it get away. Now you got 2 strikes on you. You just got to maybe choke up a little bit on the bat. Anything close, you gotta protect and hopefully get one across the plate that you can push into the outfield.
1-2 on its way from Hagen. Downstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at second and first. Bottom of the 6th, 2 gone. Westland 5, Portland none in our first of 2 semifinal games. Wind's blowing strong out to right center.
Sure is.
Hagen looks at second. Watches Stedman. His 2-2. Swing and a miss.
Nice
Big time
pitch.
strikeout from Cameron Hagen. Gets him out of the inning with 2 left aboard. A 2-run home run by Chad Stevens. And the Knights take a 5-0 lead through 6. To the top of the 7th we go. The right-hander Cade Edmondson looks in. Carly Menace, Parker Huffman hanging with you. Opening offering from Washburn. Low and outside. In the count of 1 ball and no strikes. So 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th, Parker.
Yep.
Gherkins need a run here in the 7th.
Yeah, it's go time now.
Here's the 1-0. Low and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
You know, still looking like we're going to play 9, but that's the thing about this Knights roster. You never know. They could break that thing wide open. So certainly the time to get on it and put a couple across. Get on the board here.
2-0 home. At the knees for a strike. Westland 5, Portland none. 2 balls and 1 strike to the righty Edmondson, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts swinging. 5 strikeouts for Washburn. And a swing and a foul back to the screen. The count at 2-2.
Cade, another local guy, grew up in Wilsonville, I believe, and certainly got a lot of support from the family. They've been out here quite a few times. See what he can do.
2-2-2. And he swings and skies one right field. The right fielder Ducart moves to his left, camps out under it, reaches up high and makes the catch. And there's one away. Parker, the Gherkin parents have been awfully supportive. We got a chance to talk to Coach J.J. Muscala before the game, and he was saying what the Pickles have done here is really terrific for guys who want to play in the West Coast League.
Sure.
But a lot of times it's so competitive, as the opening offering to Alarcon. Ball inside, that they don't get a chance to be on a West Coast League team, and so there's no summer baseball for them. But with this Gherkins team, a lot of community college guys get to play against top-level talent.
Yeah, it's really a pretty cool thing that we've put together here with the Gherkins kind of being the secondary team to the Pickles, and hopefully we start to see a little bit more of that happening throughout the West Coast League.
2-0, swinging a drive down the right field line, foul. And the count at 2 balls and 1 strike to Alarcon.
But yeah, I think that's kind of the initial hope is that, you know, we kind of start the process and some other teams will follow behind us, and then we can kind of get a secondary West Coast League going. You know, right now the Gherkins are totally independent, but
2-1 at the knees for a strike. Count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, really cool thing that we got going on, this being the Gherkins' first season, and you know, we've seen it already. There's certainly some hidden gems down in those lower levels, and we'll see if they can get a Pickles jersey on in the next year or two.
2-2 is low, and the count runs full 3-2. Westland 5, Gherkins none. Top 7. One guy that immediately comes to mind, Patrick Mushka. Again, probably wouldn't see a Pickles uni until at least next year, but he's discovered as a Gherkin, and here's 3-2 home, and a swing and a 2-hopper down the third baseline. Third baseman Ducart waits for it, throws across the diamond to first in time. It looked like Anderson's foot might have come off the bag.
I was thinking the same thing, but I don't know. That first base umpire is right on top of it, so I don't know. Maybe he saw something we didn't.
Yeah, and Parker, going back to the conversation about the Gherkins, I think it's great for baseball here in the Pacific Northwest. The more you can get guys at the lower levels to play, the more experience they get.
Yeah.
The better that baseball gets. It's a chain effect. Playing more baseball hurts nobody.
Exactly.
Opening offering, low and outside to Cedillo, and the count of 1-0.
Yeah, and I think even still, you know, I mean, West Coast baseball is widely respected, but there is a boatload of talent up here in the Pacific Northwest, and we're putting it on display.
1-0. Cedillo takes a ball downstairs, and the count of 2-0. Top 7. Westland Knights 5, Portland Gherkins none in our semifinal matchup here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. Washburn still on the mound is 2-0 to Cedillo. Way outside. 3 balls and no strikes to Ruben. And Parker, if you had a 3-0 count and you're Cedillo, your team's down 5-0, are you taking all the way?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do anything that I can to get on first base. Yeah, I'm certainly taking it until I get a strike, and then we'll maybe adjust from there.
3-0. At the knees for a strike, and the count of 3-1. And with Rowan Ramsey, who's got the only 2 hits of the ball game for the Gherkins on deck, I think it's key to get on board. 3-1 from Washburn. Downstairs, and there's your walk, Ruben Cedillo. takes first base. And you got to give a lot of credit on that last take. That's a guy, Ruben, who had struck out looking his previous 3 at-bats. So with a 3-1 count, to take a ball at the knees and jog down to first.
Yeah, I'm sure subconsciously he didn't want to get 2 strikes on him again. But, you know, at the same time, you want to do what you got to do to get on base and give your team a chance here. And by getting Cedillo up to the plate, that's exactly what he did.
First pitch to Ramsey, and he rolls one back to the pitcher, Washburn. He waits for it, scoops it up, goes to first in plenty of time.
Ramsey.
Time to stretch here in the 7th. To the bottom of the 7th we go. It's the Westland Knights 5, the Portland Gherkins none. Here in our semifinal matchup, the 1 seed and the 4 seed going at it on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Dave's Killer Bread.
It looks
to the bottom of the 7th we go. Carlo Jimenez, Parker Huffman with you as the lefty Jake Holcroft stands in. Holcroft yet to get a hit today, unlike him.
Yeah, surprising.
Hagen exhales and his opening offering to the lefty. And he takes a strike at the knees. Counted 0-1.
Thought about dropping down a little drag bunt there, it looked like. We'll see if getting a strike on him changes that mentality.
0-1 on his way. Skips in, and they counted a ball and a strike. And Holcroft, although he only has 2 stolen bases on the summer, has got terrific speed.
Yeah, that's why I got him with 2 stolen bases, and to be quite honest, if he gets on here, I'd still feel good about it.
1-1 to Holcroft. And he tries another bunt and fouls it back.
Now, this is a huge inning, Carlo. This is a huge half inning for the Gherkins. We got the top of the lineup up here for the Knights, and if they can find a way to get through it here and come out with no runs scored, certainly still giving themselves a chance.
2-1 on his way to the lefty. And he swings and golfs one into right center field. Moving over is the center fielder Bridge. Still on the move. He makes the catch as he jogs onto the warning track. A hard hit ball, but Brady Bridge able to track it down, and there's one away. And that's always big to get the leadoff man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in stands the right-handed batter, Andy Armstrong. Armstrong has had a nice afternoon for the Westland Knights. A team that we've really seen not do much on the offensive end.
No, not for what we're used to, that's for sure.
Not at all. 124 runs in their 14 games. First pitch to the righty. Up high. Westland 5, Portland none. Bottom 7, 1 out, bases empty. Armstrong popped out to Ramsey at second base his last time up. 1-0. And he swings and sends another ball that way. Down the right field line, the first baseman Mushka in foul territory steps into fair territory and makes the catch for out number 2.
Just what you want to do if you're on the mound for the Gherkins. That's a great job. And the worst part about it is you got 2 outs, but you still can never feel like you're out of it with this lineup. Another dangerous guy here in Briley Knight.
You got to go from Holcroft, who is 3rd in the nation in average, to Armstrong, who's got a championship ring, first pitch home. And now this guy, Briley Knight, who leads the league in average and or second in average, behind Gabe Scoro.
Yeah.
And has been absolutely terrific with the bat.
Yeah.
1-0 to him. And it's low and inside, almost clips his foot. Counted 2 balls and no strikes. Briley Knight with the axe end on his bat.
The
Pops
axe
out.
handle, yeah. Yeah, that's I've used a couple of those, you know. I kind of go back and forth on them. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. The thing about them is, you know, when I have a bat, I kind of like to rotate it and kind of disperse where I'm hitting the ball on the barrel. And when you have that axe handle, there's really only one way to hold it.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's the one thing about those bats. But a lot of guys definitely like them.
Seems to be working for this guy.
Yeah.
2-0 to him. Skips way in front of the plate. They counted 3 balls and no strikes. Bottom 7. Westland Knights 5. Portland Gherkins none. Gherkins still with a shot, but they need an out and then some offense. Bradley Knight looks on. Cameron Hagan sets his 3-0 home. Catches the outer edge, and they count at 3-1. Parker, we saw the wind going straight out to center, but now it looks like it's going left to right, which at the worst time possible for this Gherkins team with the lefty Bradley Knight up to bat.
Right. Exactly.
3-1 to him. Low and in, and he takes his second walk of the ballgame. Bradley a little bit like Kenya and Jovan, not very happy taking a walk. We've seen Jovan kind of toss the bat in frustration. Looked like Bradley did the same there.
Yeah, I mean, even I don't know if it did clip his foot on one of those first 2 pitches, but he's certainly the guy to not say anything if it did.
Yeah, if I was hitting that well, neither would I. So here's the guy with 2 2-run home runs. Chad Stevens, right-hander, digs in, 1 on, 2 out. Can he get his third? Opening offering, low and outside. Tell you one thing, don't throw it low. He has sent 2 balls from about knee-high to over the 377 mark in center field.
Yeah, and you know, typically you do want to throw low to avoid the long ball, but yeah, now it's, you know, maybe hitting the corners is your only strategy.
1-0, low and outside, and the count of 2 balls and no strikes. Chad Stevens, the first player in the Wild Wild West League to have 2 home runs in the same ball game. And he does it in the semifinal game. The number 1 seed Westland Knights taking on the 4 seed Portland Gherkins. Westland 5, Portland none. 1 on, 2 gone, the 2-0 home. Downstairs again, 3 balls and no strikes to Stevens. We saw this from Hagan back in the 6th inning, where he kind of struggled to close the inning. And
right.
Same happening here in the 7th.
Yeah, 2 real quick outs, and then all of a sudden he walks 1 and goes 3-0 to the next guy.
Bradley Knight at first, the 3-0 home. Downstairs, 4-pitch walk to Stevens.
You know what that also does, though, is kind of gets him out of the heart of the lineup. Now you got James Anderson coming up, who's certainly a capable hitter. Oh, wait, not James Anderson. I scratched that. My bad. Is that a Dukart brother?
It is.
Okay.
2 on, 2 out for the lefty Jake Dukart.
Another capable guy. So, I don't know. Maybe he feels a little bit better about attacking the zone here.
First pitch. At the knees for a strike. That's a good way to start the at-bat. And they counted 0-1. 2 2-out walks. It's the Westland Knights 5, the Portland Gherkins none. Bottom of the 7th. Cameron Hagan eyeballs Bradley Knight at second base. Now sits at the waist. 0-1. Hagan looks back at second. Now steps off. Bradley Knight is moving a lot back there.
Yeah, he's a savvy base runner, and that was kind of interesting. It looked like he almost could have just kept going, even if he didn't step off.
0-1 from Hagan. Swinging a slow roller towards second, moving to his left is Ramsey. He gets to it, goes to first, and in plenty of time,
there you go.
Retires Jake Dukart. To the 8th we go. It's the Westland Knights 5, the Portland Gherkins none. 2 more innings to play. Gherkins have some work to do here on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Dave's Killer Bread.
It started with a checkup that led to a question that spurred a discovery that changed the way we practice health, which led to more questions and more discoveries that changed more ways we practice health. And on it goes. Introducing OHSU Health, a system of doctors and nurses, researchers, clinics, and hospitals, all working together to build a better way to wellness.
To the top of the 8th we go. Patrick Mushka, the right-handed batter, digs in to face Jack Washburn, opening offering home. Low and outside, the count at 1 ball and no strikes. The Westland Knights 5, the Portland Gherkins none. Gherkins needs some runs here in the 8th. A 1-0 from Washburn. At the knees for a strike, and the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mushka still looking for his first knock of the ball game. It will be Mushka, Herzog, Norman. Hard at the lineup for the Gherkins, 1-1. Low and outside, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Only 2 hits for this Gherkins team, both of them coming off the bat of Rowan Ramsey. Somebody else has got to get it going. 2-1 on its way. Low and away, Mushka lays off a good pitch from Washburn, and the count at 3-1. 72 pitches for Jack Washburn through 3 innings. He's had to work hard for his outs. 3-1. Low and a leadoff walk to Patrick Mushka. Oh, check that. Late strike call. Mushka comes back as a guy who doesn't talk to umpires much. Asks where that ball was, and everybody's fooled, and he'll step back in with a 3-2 count. Payoff pitch on. And there's ball 4. So Washburn adds a pitch to his pitch count, but the result stays the same. Mushka jogs down 90 feet, and in comes the lefty, Justin Herzog. If you want to start a rally, got to get the leadoff man aboard. Westland Knights 5, Portland Gherkins none. Herzog stands in, opening offering. Way high, and the count at 1 ball and no strikes. Herzog and Mushka, carpool buddies to the game. We talked to Mushka earlier today. He said he always has to drive, because one time he said, if I get a hit, I'm driving, and that's the way it's been. 1-0, up and away, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Mushka leads at first. Herzog 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Has not been his ball game. He hit 1 home run in yesterday's home run derby. 2-0 to him from Washburn. Away, and the count 3 balls and no strikes. Miles Norman is on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. Westland Knights 5, Portland Gherkins none. Top 8 here at Bob Rock, 3-0. And another walk by Jack Washburn. So back-to-back walks have 2 runners aboard for the righty Miles Norman. And now Nicholas Klemp is going to go out and talk to his pitcher. Jacob Dobmeyer getting warm in the bullpen of the Knights. Norman has been patient on 2 full counts. He has taken ball 4. He's been a good hitter for the Gherkins today, and an opportunity to crack the goose egg on the scoreboard. Westland with 3 runs in the first, 2 in the 6th. They've had 2 2-run home runs by Chad Stevens. That has been the difference. 2 on, nobody out, top of the 8th. Opportunity for the Portland Gherkins to climb back into this ball game. Washburn looks at second, and his first pitch home. Catches the inside corner, and the count at 0-1. Norman taps the plate once, has an open stance as he holds the bat on the right shoulder. Washburn's 0-1. Swinging a slicing line drive down the right field line. And Jack Washburn in the driver's seat, the count at 0-2. Washburn with already 5 strikeouts. He struck out the side back in the 5th. 0-2 on his way home. Strike 3, called at the knees. Down goes Norman. He doesn't agree. And there's 1 gone with 2 on. As out comes Coach Brooke Knight. And we'll take a quick break and come right back. That's going to do it for Jack Washburn. 2 on, 1 gone. It's Westland 5, Portland none. Here in the top of the 8th at Bob Brock Stadium, Jacob Dobmeyer coming into the ballgame. Jacob Dobmeyer, the new pitcher on the mound for the Westland Knights, trying to protect the 5-0 lead over the Portland Gherkins. Bryce Bridge at the plate, 2 on, 1 gone. Top of the 8th. Gherkins trying to get on the board. Ready on ready, the opening offering. Up high, in the count of 1 ball and no strikes. So it's Jake Fennings, Jack Washburn, and Jacob Dobmeyer for Westland. Mushka at second. At first is Herzog. The 1-0 on its way home. Strike on the outer edge. And the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Westland leads Portland 5-0. Gherkins need a run here in the 8th. Do not want to leave all of the work for the 9th. The 1-1 on its way. Swing and a miss. And the count of a ball and 2 strikes. 8 strikeouts by Fennings, 6 by Washburn. Dominance by the Knights pitchers. 1-2 on its way home. Swinging a tapper foul back to the screen, and the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Westland got 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st, 2 in the bottom of the 6th. 4 RBIs for Chad Stevens, who has 2 2-run home runs. Bridge looks on. Top 8, 1 out, 2 aboard. Westland 5, Portland none. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Snap back throw to first, and back safely is Herzog. Down goes Rice Bridge. One up, one down on a strikeout. Now all three Westland pitchers have started their outings with Ks. As up comes the lefty Zach Hart. So Hart in for Colby Grace. Trying to get a rally going. 2 aboard, 2 out. Top 8. 5-0 Westland leads Portland. Opening offering to Hart. At the knees for a strike. And the count at 0-1. Zach Hart pitched and hit yesterday. He was 0 for 1 at the plate. The 0-1 on its way to. And he swings and slices one foul down the left field line. And he's in the hole 0-2, and Daubmeyer a strike away from getting out of the inning. Leadoff walks to Mushka and Herzog, but Norman and Bridge have gone down on strikeouts. An 0-2 count to Zach Hart. Daubmeyer sets. 0-2 home. Swinging a slicing line drive into left field. Holcroft takes 2 steps to his left and makes the catch. 2 walks, 2 left aboard. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Knights trying to add some runs before they try to close things out here at Bob Brock Stadium. It's the Westland Knights 5, the Portland Gherkins none on our Wild Wild West League stream, brought to you by Adventus Health.
It started with a checkup that led to a question that spurred a discovery that changed the way we practice health, which led to more questions and more discoveries that changed more ways we practice health. And on it goes. Introducing OHSU Health, a system of doctors and nurses, researchers, clinics, and hospitals, all working together to build a better way to wellness.
To the bottom of the 8th we go here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. Right-hander James Anderson digs in. Westland 5, Portland none. Opening offering from Hagen. At the knees for a strike, and the count at 0-1. Anderson, Stedman, Klemp. In the bottom of the 8th for the Westland Knights. Hagen's 0-1. Misses away, and the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. A big 2-run home run by Chad Stevens in the 6th. Push a 3-0 lead to 5. And the Knights trying to give themselves a little more padding before the top of the 9th. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack by Anderson. And the count at a ball and 2 strikes. And 1 seed versus the 4 seed. Winner advances to the championship at 5:30 tomorrow. 1-2 from Hagen. Anderson swings and pops one up back to the screen and foul. And the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Portland Gherkins. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Westland Knights. Hagen's 1-2 on its way. And Anderson swings and slaps one into left field for a base hit. A single for James Anderson. A runner is aboard. And the bottom of the 8th, as in stands the lefty Decker Stedman. Westland 5, Portland none. Bottom 8, 1 on, nobody out. Stedman, who has reached all 3 times, a pair of singles and a walk for him. The sophomore out of the University of Oregon looks on. First pitch home. Outside for a ball. The count of 1-0. So Stedman, who didn't get a chance to hit in his freshman year at the University of Oregon, was 0 for 1 with a 1.59 ERA, coming in relief. Using the bat here in the Wild Wild West League, the 1-0. And he looks at a strike at the knees, the count of 1-1. And today has been one of the more prolific hitters for this Westland Knights team. Hagen on the mound after Issa, trying to keep it a 5-run game before we head to the final frame. Runner at first, nobody out, bottom 8, the 1-1, way outside. And the count of 2 balls and 1 strike. There's action in the Gherkins pen. Bowser getting warm. Anderson leads at first. 2-1 from Hagen. Drops in for a strike, and the count levels out at 2-2. One on. Nobody out, bottom of the 8th. Westland 5, Portland none. Hagen looking for the double play ball. His 2-2. Swinging a pop-up down the third baseline. Moving over is Herzog, the third baseman. He steps back and makes the catch in foul territory. So Justin Herzog retires Decker Stedman, and up comes the right-handed batter, Nicholas Klemp, with a runner aboard and 1 away. 5 runs for the Westland Knights, a team that scored 124 runs in their previous 14 games. But it's been close for the Knights standards. Opening offering. On the outer edge for a strike, and the count of 0-1. Hagen looks in. Sets at the waist. Leading at first is Anderson. And a throw over to first. Anderson back. James Anderson not taking a very large lead, but moving a little bit over there at first base, trying to maybe distract Cameron Hagen. Anderson without a stolen base this summer. Klemp, the righty, looks on, 1-1. Downstairs in the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Portland Gherkins. 5 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for the Westland Knights. 1-1 home. Up and away. 2 balls and a strike to Nicholas Klemp. Klemp walked back in the 6th. He has popped out twice. 2-1-2. And he swings and rolls one towards third. Third baseman Herzog scoops it up, goes to second for 1. The turn to first is in the dirt and not in time. So the lead runner Anderson is retired. A good play by Herzog. Ramsey had a chance to make the turn, but Nicholas Klemp has good speed as he beats it out. And in stands the lefty Thomas Ducart with a runner at first and 2 gone. If you're Hagen, you'd love to retire Ducart. Do not want to see Jake Holcroft again, who stands on deck. First pitch to the lefty. And he swings and fouls it off right towards Holcroft on the on-deck circle to the right of him. And the count at 0-1. A Westland team who needs 3 more outs to advance to the championship game. Trying to add some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th. 5-0, runner on, 2 gone. 0-1. Low one in the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. The Portland Gherkins will have the 8-9-1 spots. As of right now, that's Edmondson, Alarcon, and Cedillo. With a big mountain decline. Westland 5, Portland none. Bottom 8, 1 on, 2 gone. 1-1 from Hagen to the lefty Ducart. Low and inside. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. We'll have a 7:30 semifinal game between the Gresham Grails and the Portland Pickles. Some players from those 2 teams have arrived here early to see the winner, 2-1. Misses inside. In the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Nicholas Klemp leads at first base. He is 0 for 1 on stolen bases. The 3-1 on his way home. Miss strike called on the outer edge. A late strike call. Ducart was halfway down to first base. And the count runs full 3-2. Thomas Ducart steps back into the batter's box. Ducart had thrown the bat, turned around. He had forgotten all about it. As he steps back in, runner at first, 2 gone, bottom 8. Westland 5, Portland none. Payoff pitch, home runner goes. And ball 4 upstairs. So Ducart jogs down 90 feet. Runner goes to second, and Nicholas Klemp. And now an opportunity for Jake Holcroft to add to the Westland Knights lead. The wind has died down. No shadows on the field. Klemp at second. Jake Ducart at first, opening offering. In there for a strike. In the count of 0-1 to Jake Holcroft. Holcroft does not have a hit so far today. That has only happened once all season. One time he has not had a hit. He went 0 for 3 against the Pickles on Thursday, July 30th. 0-1. And he swings and rolls one up the middle, snagged out of the air by Hagen, who underhand flips to first. A nice play by Cameron Hagen. Holcroft is 0 for 4, and that does it for the bottom of the 8th. Gherkins need 5 runs to keep their season alive. It's Westland Knights 5. Portland Gherkins none on our Wild Wild West League stream. Brought to you by John Sandylands. To the final frame we go here at Bob Brock Stadium in Aurora, Oregon. The Westland Knights 5, the Portland Gherkins none. Ready, Dobmeyer will deal to the lefty, Kane Kianis, to lead things off. Opening offering. Misses away, and the count at 1 ball and no strikes. Kianis coming in for Cade Edmondson. He is 2 for 16 this summer, the 1-0. Downstairs, in the count at 2 balls and no strikes. Meyer looking to close things out and send the number 1 seed Westland Knights to the championship game. 2-0 to Kianis. And he swings and taps one up the middle. Moving to his left is Armstrong. Takes it on a hop. Goes to first for the out. And there's 1 gone. So in stands the lefty batter, Sean Alvarado. With 1 gone and the base is empty. Top of the 9th. Westland Knights 5 and the Portland Gherkins none. Alvarado taps the plate twice, looks towards Dobmeyer, righty on lefty. First pitch to him, and he checks his swing and looks at a ball low and away. Alvarado coming in for Humberto Alarcon. Coach Mosier trying to get some guys off his bench and onto the base paths. 1-0. And And Alvarado pops one up down the left field line. Moving over is Jake Ducard, and he runs out of room. And the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Alvarado, so far for this Gherkins team, is 1 for 16 with a pair of RBIs. Base is empty, the 1-1-2. And he swings and skies one into shallow center field. Briley Knight coming in. He gets under and makes the catch. And there's 2 gone. So 2 quick outs, and the Portland Gherkins season is down to their final out. As in stands the right-handed batter, Ruben Cedillo. Cedillo, famous, of course, for hitting a home run in his first ever WWWL at-bat. First pitch to him. Inside, and the count of 1-0. 3 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Westland Knights 5, Portland Gherkins none. Here in the top of the 9th with a trip to the championship on the line. 1-0. Swinging a shot right at Ducard at third as he makes the catch, and that does it. The Westland Knights are headed to the championship. The number 1 overall seed shuts out the Portland Gherkins 5-0 in a 9-inning ball game. They will play at 5:30 tomorrow against either the Grey Wolves or the Pickles. 2 two-run home runs by Chad Stevens, and the Westland Knights defeat the Portland Gherkins 5-0 here at Bob Brock Stadium to advance to the championship game. For Carlo Jimenez, John Sandilands, Kat Makaroff, Gary Walker, Daniel Barkanazen, Kelsey Henry, Johnny Harvey, and our whole staff, including Rory Newhouse and Parker Huffman, here at Bob Brock Stadium. Signing off, we'll see you in a couple hours for Grey Wolves and